I've been looking into tithing, and I found that it always was referred to as cattle and crops in the Old Testament, even though they had money in those times. Let me stop before I go on. Cattle and crops was then and is still equivalent to money these times. Why is it that churches ask for 10% tithe rather than faith gifts that Paul refers to in the New Testament? Okay, that's a great question. Yeah. Go ahead.
No.
I'm kidding. No.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I know it's a gray area. I think Sam actually fixed it when he says the manifestation of the Holy Spirit is generosity. And so everybody needs to be a giver. Now, I believe in New Testament tithing. Okay, so that kind of provides a benchmark for Gail and I's giving. Sam doesn't. He is a generosity man, and that provides the benchmark for his giving. All right, both are New Testament. Right. And so I think the thing you don't want to be is stingy. The thing you don't want to be is a freeloader. The thing you don't want to be is taking advantage of other people and not figuring out the miracle of sowing and reaping. And see, we can't teach that anymore because so many of the TV guys turned it into a money-making thing, and they kind of ruined the ability to use those scriptures. But whatever you sow, that will you also reap. And I know loads of poor people that can't get things to work, and they don't give a thing. And they are perpetually poor. Now, but the TV guys always add mysticism to it. It's not mystical, okay? When you give, things start changing inside of you. All right, so here's what I've noticed. I've been watching this thing for years. So the guys on TV, they can give something, and somebody gives them an airplane, and they say, "Duh!" But I don't know any guy who works at a factory that have people giving them airplanes. All right, but here's what happens. When normal people give, they have a supernatural thing that happens. They have a desire to have improved manners. Often they clean up their language, or they become more considerate. And what that does, an employer will never tell you, "I'm firing you because of your bad manners." Or they won't ever say, "I'm not hiring you because of your bad manners," but they do it all the time. Another thing that happens is when people give generously, they receive a desire to improve their skills. I've watched it over and over again. They'll start giving, and all of a sudden they start reading books. Or they want to take another class. Or they get a better idea for their business. Or whatever. And so these things are, it's not the you give and you'll get a mysterious check in the mail. No, your skills will improve. Your manners will improve. Your abilities will improve. And now here's the downside for those of you that are conscious of style. Your clothes won't wear out. I'm still wearing stuff I had 20 years ago. Guys like Alec pointed out to me, "Where do you even get that stuff?" And so, can you buy that somewhere? I don't know. Okay, this sweater. I wore this 2 weeks ago, and Alec's little brother, Dylan, sent me a note saying, "Did you get the sweater at Goodwill?" Go ahead.
Savage.
Okay, is it your turn or mine?
I was going to add on to that.
Huh?
I was going to add on to that.
Go ahead.
But I can't. Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so down south, there's this preacher was preaching on tithing and giving and stuff. And, we're under grace in the New Testament, which means we should be at least as generous as the people in the Old Testament who were not under grace, so to speak. And so
that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, so that's one idea.
Yeah.
There's this kid down south, and the preacher's preaching on tithing and giving and stuff. And this kid showed up at church and didn't have any money. And so when the offering plate came by, he put the offering plate on the ground and stepped inside of it. I'm giving. So I think
don't do that.
Yeah, especially if there's hundos.
We
in that
get
thing,
it.
yeah.
Just say a prayer.
Yeah. So so just give everything.
Yeah.